On this episode of DC On Screen, we are talking about the trailers for Black Adam and Sandman, the crazy news coming in about the Joker sequel, and a few bits more right after these words from our mystery sponsors. Welcome into DC On Screen, a show about the DC multiverse on film and television. Warning, we are but imperfect humans who are taking the news and throwing our own 2 cents in. Our opinions are subject to change. Rest assured, we are not the unchanging gods you seek, Internet. Nevertheless, gather ye receipts while ye may. I'm your host, David C. Robertson, and this is the man who once slammed his dick in a dresser drawer, Jason Goss.
That's a painfully true story.
I couldn't get through it. And just knowing it's true.
I mean that on every possible level. It was a bad day. I don't like bringing it up.
I love bringing it up.
I had an underwear drawer that was at a certain height. As I grew, I didn't realize anything was happening. And I just sort of would like kick it with my hips. One day that worked out badly.
Yeah, I love it. I love that story. I told 3 people, strangers at Walmart today.
I would ask why or be offended, but I don't give a damn about what 3 strangers at Walmart know or care about in my life.
I do walk up to them and say, do you know who Jason Goss is? And if they say no, I say, never mind. And then when I find someone who goes, yeah, I went to school with that guy.
Yeah, you're like,
I'm like, well, I have a story for you.
Just want to make sure we're on the same page. Did you know about that time he hurt his penis very, very, very much?
Yeah. All right.
It was like 8 or 9. I remember crying for some time.
Oh, you were 8 or 9.
It was
okay. I thought this happened last week.
No, it was a pre-adolescent injury.
Gotcha. Well, that makes it better.
Yeah,
that makes it better.
And I have yet to shut another drawer with my hips.
We in one of my friend groups, we had a buddy who got his dick stuck in one of the rings from the Lord of the Rings DVD box set.
Oh no.
Because they came with a certain one came with like a ring. And we would retell the story, or it would come up and to new people, which I agree is a shitty thing. But, I wasn't the one bringing it up. I just laughed at it every time.
I mean, these things will happen.
And this unnamed friend would try to say, no, I was like 13 when it happened. And we have to point out, like, you were at least 18 when that movie came out.
No.
Like,
No, that would be an anachronism in your story. No, sorry.
You were 19 when the DVDs came out. I'm sorry, buddy.
I'm sorry. It's what it is.
At some point, I just had to say, like, look, everybody here has a small dick. You don't have to worry.
We all got it in. Only some made it out.
Uh-huh.
This has been very dick heavy. I leave it, and I'm sure everyone would be happy to leave it.
I didn't mean for that to be.
With simply the advice that if you're going to do anything in the area of rings in that vicinity, you should probably purchase from licensed venues on the topic.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe even ask for advice at the counter. Now, depending on the state, you need to ask for research purposes, ours included.
Right. I don't think it was that thought.
Then, it's not that straightforward here. You have to be like, no, I just wanted to try something.
Yeah, I think he was just bored.
Mm.
I don't think he was looking for DIY a cock ring or something. I don't.
Yeah. Just more of the, I wonder if this will fit. Oh, no.
Right.
Yeah.
It did, and now it doesn't. Before jumping into the news, I do want to thank our patrons. You patrons, you are the microwave and butter to our
in there.
Cold. Yeah. You messed up my line, damn it.
I'm sorry.
You are the microwave and butter to our cold refrigerated O'Charlie's yeast rolls.
Well, who even knows what O'Charlie's is anymore? Like,
me?
I don't feel bad about that. Those were great. Great yeast rolls, though.
They are great yeast rolls.
I don't know which portions of the country know about yeast rolls. It's going to be a regional thing, but God, if you do,
right?
God, like the kind of bread you don't even have to butter. Just throw it in your mouth. That's it.
And yet they bring you honey butter to put on the yeast rolls.
The truly outstanding ones do, yes.
Yeah, I'm not mad at it. It's heavy on my heart because I just like pulled out like some leftover loaded potato soup and yeast rolls from O'Charlie's.
No, it's heavy on your heart because of the cholesterol, but that too.
That's true. That's true. The Lord did not lay that one on my heart.
No.
I laid it on my heart.
Yeah.
And I said, oh, praise Jesus.
Years and years of borderline abuse.
Yeah, it'll get me one day. $1 a month gets you every episode ad-free, and $5 a month gets you that, plus strange, occasional odds and ends like Marvel reviews, outtakes. We have some fun stuff in the works for Patreon, actually, and hopefully you'll see some of that soon. I'm really bad at remembering to edit and post things. I still love you.
But we can get better. And we have a new segment.
Will we? We do have a new segment in mind. That's not a promise.
Not in practice yet. In mind.
A purchase has been made, and that's usually where it ends.
Well, honestly, like having actually thrown down a few bucks, well, now I'm pot committed.
Right.
We're in it now. So,
all right, let's talk about this Black Adam trailer, man.
let's do it.
First of, look, man, I've been excited about Black Adam since they announced it 37 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw this trailer.
The year
and
of Christ AD. When they announced the fucking film.
I remember I looked at the newspaper and it said, Christ born, The Rock to star in Black Adam.
Yeah, black and white newspaper.
And in a second, it was all over to the side. And anyway, It wasn't the same story.
Rock to be born 200 years from now. It was actually the National Enquirer, an early version.
So yeah, they put out this trailer. I think Dr. Fate looks cool, and that's about it. Like, I am not weirdly like there was like something about the tone of this of this trailer. And look, man, the trailer might be completely different from the movie. I really loved that sneak peek they showed at Fandom.
I think that's going to be closer to the tone. The problem I had with the trailer was that I told you this earlier. I thought it'd be more scory and less soundtracky.
Mm-hmm.
It just it did look a little rote as far as the soundtracks or trailers go, like kind of trailer housey.
Yeah, it did.
But it doesn't discourage me from the content and what I believe I know to be true about this movie so far.
I was interested that they didn't make any references to the Wizard Shazam. You know?
Yeah. Also, not a heavy... I feel like the villain part of this movie, I mean, aside of... short of the, like, anti-hero parts, but who's going to be really the bad guy that galvanizes him one way or the other? I feel like it's not ready for... like viewing purposes. Like they're still putting the final touches on this and it needs a minute.
You know, you get to the villain, that's really more trailer 2, you know, but I thought I've seen a bunch of people say that like the high tech motors hover cycle things were like intergang. Maybe. I don't know.
I mean, yeah, but intergang would be not that they would be like below Black Adam as a villain set. I mean, it's an international crime syndicate. Clearly, that technically on paper they fit, but you know, it's not like it's not like we're gonna show up and the villain is Osiris or some shit.
Right. You know how you are. You're always like every time Ra's al Ghul happens, you're like, I'm kind of bored. I feel that times 1,000 with Intergang. Anytime someone brings up Intergang, I'm like, really? We're doing Intergang? Like,
give me the snake lady or get out.
Look, man, we've got like encyclopedias full of interesting characters that we could play with, that we can make cool, even if they're not. We've got, hundreds of really cool ones we can actually do. And you go with Intergang? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
It's not my favorite thing, but made family crime dramas were never my bread and butter. I mean, the one time I sampled really heavily sampled like a few films here and there, like some Donnie Brasco's and Goodfellas. But the most I've ever really spent with that was Sopranos, and it ended poorly for me. So I didn't like clamor back to that genre.
Right.
Hell, I was happier with Breaking Bad than I was Sopranos. And that's only having seen 3 seasons of it, I think.
Yeah, when you add in Better Call Saul, is vastly superior.
Oh, I know. I have no doubt. The 3 seasons I saw were better television.
Yeah,
but it's not the most exciting prospect for the villain. I don't feel like they're going to go that way. And even if they do, they've got to really pick some top notch people out of that canon to make that work.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I wouldn't put it past them to have, like, because this thing is supposed to be spanning multiple time frames, so I could see them, him working with the JSA to take down certain groups that are, tangentially, I can't say that word now today, that are leaked indirectly to the big bad, whoever that big bad winds up being. Of course, I'm an artsy-fartsy piece of shit, so I would like for it to come around that he is the main bad guy himself. Like that's his main antagonist is himself. Like he's got to figure out what kind of man he wants to be. Well, so
that part I'm sure is going to be the thing, because I like the part about the trailer where Fate pretty much tells him you've got 2 choices and you're either going to destroy the world or save it.
Yeah, and
I like how that tracks with 2 things. One, the whole over-repeated, granted, phrase about the hierarchy of the DC universe.
Mm-hmm.
But
I refuse to even say it anymore. I'm not going to read that anymore.
I know it's been said a lot.
The Rock can eat my shit. I am not saying that stupid shit anymore.
Look, he's a hype man. He is, among other things, a hype man, and he's good at it.
He has turned DC into a wrestling ring.
Very much so. But some of the comments he made recently where he has kind of reinstated how much he's committed to building this universe post this film.
Right.
Look, a lot of people
and I have no faith
that.
in any of that beyond like watching this trailer.
No, that's the point. A lot of people could say that, and I wouldn't believe that was even in the cards. He is the kind of person who has enough pull, and I actually believe on a personal level that he would be one of those people, just looking at his history, that he actually might mean that. And crazy, might have the means to actually do it.
Maybe if the movie does well enough, Zaslav will definitely be like, "Yes, sir, we're in the rock business, sir."
Oh yeah, Zaslav's a robot. If the movie doesn't make enough money, it's not gonna happen.
Yeah, if it makes like 50 cents less than what Zaslav thinks,
it's gone.
It's not happening.
It's gone.
You'll never hear the words Black Adam again.
We could all petition to send a penny each to get it over the 50-cent mark. It will not matter.
Yeah. But yeah, I didn't like the music choice. I think these days putting Kanye West in anything is tone deaf.
Questionable. It's an all right song. So anyway. I just didn't expect it in that moment. I just thought it'd be more scory is all.
I don't think it's an all right song. I think it's a really obnoxious song.
I don't know his stuff very well at all. Like when it's on in the background and I'm not really paying attention, I'm like, all right, well, that can stay.
And I don't know the words or anything. It just sounds like ants in my ears. Like it's like ants in my brain. Like I can't. It's like the kids. Na 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 na. Go away. I am troubled that The Rock has no accent at all.
Why?
Was he not a slave at least adjacent to Egypt? I mean, he's in Kahndaq, whatever you want to say. Kahndaq, that's a fictional country. That's a fictional country, but a lot of it's based on Egypt. The 2 people in the car who were furiously rolling up their windows because that's going to stop Black Adam if he wants to go in your car.
That old gag. I mean,
that old dumb gag.
Oh, see, I just don't hate that.
Actually made me angry.
I don't hate that gag in any capacity.
It actually made me angry. Look, I was like, this is so stupid. Like that and the dude hitting him upside the head and then he like throws him somehow up and...
Oh, he just extended his forearm and yeeted that guy that far. It's fine.
Yeah, it was dumb.
I feel like
they might as well have had a Wilhelm scream.
The popcorn and comedy side of this. Trailer
sure
2,
did.
I think, is what you're going to like more.
Maybe. I'm hoping. I'm not just like going like, this is bullshit and this garbage, and I'll, you'll know it when I say that about something.
I mean, you'll say roughly that.
Episode.
Yeah. Pretty verbatim.
You'll hear that in segment 2.
It'll be spades of it.
But yeah, I mean, like, there's, oh, and the, heroes don't murder people. Well, I do. It's a really bad delivery of that line. I don't know what I don't know what I'm hoping for.
At all. I just think this was a bad trailer, honestly.
It was a bad trailer.
And it's a mediocre trailer. Let's put it that way. I would like to have seen it hyped and give you everything that some of these other films have given you. Like, like the BVS trailer or something, the first one. That first Suicide Squad trailer, fucking phenomenal.
Yeah.
But yeah, none of that matters. I mean, goddamn, even the Justice League first trailer, good. But I don't think any of that's going to really matter. I don't know. It's a minute and 28, I want to say.
Yeah, something like that.
With some thinning at both ends about... I wouldn't put much into it as far as what you do or don't care about quite yet. I think the content is still going to be the same.
It is what it is. I mean, well, the content might not be the same. Like, honestly, like, there is so much context can do within a movie to make lines work. Like, for instance, one of the lines I hated in the Batman trailer was, "That's a lot of cats."
And then seeing it was fine.
Yeah, no, in the movie, it was fine.
Yeah.
It was just, it meshed better than just the comedic beat of the trailer. Yeah. There's absolutely a lot. The editing is very important. And I'm not saying the movie's going to be shit. I'm just saying this trailer was. To me. I don't think that trailer is going to be representative, which that's a kind way of me saying that I think it was a bad trailer, because if I'm right, then that trailer didn't portray what was supposed to be happening in the movie, and that means that it's a bad trailer. Did I miss something? Is there something in the Black Adam mythos where like they put his suit inside of a chamber and fill it with water? What was that? Do you understand that?
Not that I remember.
I'm wondering if they like erased the wizard stuff, like Shazam stuff. I don't know what that's supposed to be exactly.
It can't be though. Like even in Shazam, doesn't he mention he had a champion before him? It has to be.
Yeah, but if they decided they wanted everything to be seperate,
I mean, that there were champions before Black Adam, so it's not that couldn't be that. It's just that with every, especially back in the like multi-deity packets of gods that happened for millennia in human history, like you have enough letters to choose from that you can spell Shazam. Like, you can pick any given,
Well, I believe Teth Adam was given the powers of Egyptian gods.
Yes.
But
there are enough Egyptian gods and, our misinterpretation and translation of those letters to make that happen. Then you get into Greek stuff and it was the same. Or, God, I keep losing track. Is Shazam Greek or Roman gods? Or a mixture? I think it was Greek.
See, it was the strength of Hercules.
I believe that was Greek.
Wisdom of Solomon, strength of Hercules.
Achilles, Atlas, Mercury.
Yeah.
And Zeus. It's kind of a mixture, isn't
it? I always think of that Uka the Mock song where they're like, I have the wisdom of Solomon and the strength of Hercules. I haven't memorized what a Zam means.
What am I missing about one part of that? I think I brought her up before, but like the Hazam part, I think it's like Hercules, Atlas, Zeus, Achilles, and Mercury's. But like, Solomon's like a biblical character. The fuck is he doing in there?
Hey, you gotta have the wisdom, though.
Yeah, but that's an entirely different canon.
Kind of, unless you start getting into Genesis.
500 years later.
Yeah, but there's that bit in Genesis where it's like in Genesis it says the sons of God found the daughters of man to be fair and took them as wives, and then like theologians believe
if we just get into there's only ever been 12 families or some shit.
Yeah, but then you get into the idea that like these were fallen angels, these were the Nephilim, and if they created with them God of men, it says that they created with the daughters of man men of great renown.
Sure.
that could be the Greek gods. Like that could be all the gods, all these different like demigods and stuff. Like you could really start like getting into like all the ancient religions and piecing them together and creating like a canon.
Absolutely could. And
if you buy into any of it,
I feel like if you intended to or not, I think I know what the next topic is, and I think you have a segue for the ages.
Do I?
Sandman.
No.
Was that not the next topic?
That's not the next topic.
Damn you.
No.
Do it anyway. Take advantage.
All right. No. I don't want to. We're doing movies right now.
That's fine.
We'll get to it.
Kind of forgot that was Netflix.
You mentioned it.
Netflix is so theatrical.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll get to that later, after the break.
Right.
Wasted opportunity. But
I know it. I do that all the time. Batgirl. Oh yeah. No. First, I want to talk about this. I don't understand what the hell this means. The Rock posted on social media and said 2 words: #Black Adam. Thank you around the world. A staggering 98% positive global review for our Black Adam trailer. What does that mean?
I don't know. I watched that video.
Where is he getting that stat?
I don't know where. I don't know what his agent told him about the 98% positive review. Look, there was a very positive review in certain circles.
In certain circles, yes.
There were also negative reviews. I don't know where he got the 98. The 2 words thank you part. Okay, I feel that. That's being grateful. Cool. He's shown himself to be a good dude. So fine.
I just want to know what the staggering 98% positive global what is a global review for a trailer? Where did they have that stat? I want to see it. I want to know where. What is the source?
Oh, you're not going to get that. That is some focus group shit. Like
I would
bet you money that his actual agent told him that was what was found, and that there's some paperwork to back it up, but that it's still just kind of an internal figure that you're never going to see anything about. Yeah, this is not like 98% Rotten Tomatoes out of the gate or something.
Right. I want to know where it's from, and because until I see it, I just feel like that's the stupid bullshit.
It's going to be an exaggerated figure.
Yeah, I just feel like it's dumb. Like that's like what was the bullshit when you would like take like internet IQ quizzes off of like OkCupid or something back in the day, and they would be like,
well, I doubt it's as dumb as a BuzzFeed quiz or some shit, but
oh no, I think it is.
This isn't like Mental Floss or something, but
they just cooked up a title, global review, positive global review. Ah, yes, let's write that in the tweet.
I mean, it's 98%. You'd have to at least interview 50 people, and 49 of them agree with you mathematically. But I mean, that's minimum, and that's even harder to achieve. It's probably better if you did more people.
Yeah, this feels like when you take those internet IQ tests on OkCupid, and they would say, "Congratulations, you're a regional genius," but wouldn't give you like a score or explain what the hell that meant.
Look, it's probably a focus group, like an online survey thing that spanned several countries, not all of them. Mm-hmm. And roughly the question asked was like, "Would you see this movie?" or some general something like that. And overall, everyone was like, yeah, I'll watch it.
Yeah, I guess. And they were like, congratulations, you're legally an expert.
It's not
just like those game ads, because that's what they deal in.
Oh, it doesn't. I wish it worked that deeply.
Word groupings that don't make any sense, that have no real bearing on the world.
On the one hand, like I love numbers as far as data goes, and God, I'd love to see more than I get to see. But then there are things like, how do you recruit? I saw a fly around a wall today in an elevator in an actual medical institution with the little tags ripped off, where a couple of people have called. That was like, are you between 18 and 65? Have you had any pre-existing neurological conditions? Have you had just a couple of base questions? But the headline was like, do you have an active opioid addiction? Like a serious thing. An opioid addiction is not something most people just stroll away from.
Right.
And it was at the bottom of it was like, compensation up to $20.
Oh.
Like, it's an opioid addiction. Can you possibly like negotiate a way to get help? Like, get some fucking actual help. I think $20 is going to buy about, I don't know, 20 milligrams worth of Lortab on the current market. That ain't going to work.
Oh, man. So, yeah, over to Batgirl. LRB, one of the directors, says, we don't know when Batgirl is coming out, so they don't have a release date. And in response to all the rumors, I guess, from the people who are saying that they've been told to tweak it and change it because they're going to change the Flash movie, we don't know that they're going to change the Flash movie. In fact, he said, no one told us nothing about tweaks, just to carry on.
But he used a double negative.
I know. Is that code? No, I don't think this guy's Snyder. He's not going to do that to us. But, these are the guys that did the first episode of Ms. Marvel.
That was a solid show.
It was. I enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it.
And
the animation style up front was really good, too.
And I agree. I feel compelled to share this. It doesn't mean anything to anything, but I feel compelled to share this. We wrote Marvel Studios an email that said we were going to do Batgirl, and then Kevin Feige, Victoria, and Lou all said congratulations. They were super happy for us. People say there's a rivalry, but it's totally not like that. They made each other stronger, and we felt the vibe between DC and Marvel. They're big fans of each other. Kevin was constantly asking questions. How's it going? What's going on? What's going to happen? He was a real fanboy, so that was pretty dope. I love stories like that, and I feel like I always have to report them when I see them. Yeah. Once again, big middle finger to about half of Twitter.
Yeah, it's not an actual fight.
No. So this Joker too, man.
Exacts at least for Twitter, yes, of course.
Mm-hmm. So Folie à Deux, the title that Todd Phillips posted with the cover page of his new script for Joker 2, basically. I believe it's pronounced Folie à Deux. I'll do the accent, but
look, it's French. That's as close as you're going to get.
I know.
It'll get the term across, though.
The title is a medical term for an identical or similar mental disorder that affects two or more individuals, usually members of the same family. But in this case, everyone's pretty sure it's going to be Harlequin.
It has this weird space and a lot of like psych fields where it's not mass hysteria. Like mass hysteria is, the witch trials or something, which even that could be argot poisoning or something, whatever. Like,
or the people who couldn't stop dancing in that little town.
the dancing fever or whatever. Like mass hysteria is one thing, but that's mass shooting style, like mass. Several. Folie à Deux or whatever it's called is like could be as little as a couple or a few or whatever people, and they're normally in a close environment. So I loved the reference to that because of the codependency that's always portrayed with Joker and Harley. Mm-hmm. And now, dear God, when that's most likely Joker and Harley.
Yeah, when he put this out, I was like, everyone was saying Harley, and I was thinking there's a lot to be said for this notion that, Batman is also psychologically broken. What if he actually did do because I couldn't imagine not following up on Bruce Wayne in that alley, and him going, you wouldn't get it. So I'm like, couple of basically two clowns with a psychological disorder destroying Gotham. That sounds cool. But Hollywood Reporter says Lady Gaga is in talks to join the film, and even though they're saying that details on her character are being kept under wraps, they're basically just keep saying, yeah, she's Harley. She's gonna play Harley. If a deal makes, Gaga would play Gwen. Okay, you just said that you didn't know, that they're not saying who. Okay, cool. And weirdly, without explaining how they know this, they also say that the sequel is going to be a musical.
Which, if you're going to get Lady Gaga, makes sense.
Maybe it's in her head. Maybe she performs. We have absolutely no assurance that she's going to be a psychologist or whatever the hell she was supposed to be in all the other canons.
Oh yeah, there's none of that.
She'll probably be like a nightclub, singer or something.
Yeah, it could be anything as far as that goes. Also, for something to be called a musical, Like, even the fucking Frozen films that are just stuck in my head all the fucking time right now.
Yeah.
Damn it, Evelyn. Why? Why do you do this to me? Those
For those not in the know, Evelyn is his daughter.
Yeah. We have parts we have to sing now. It's weirdly scripted, and dear God. But seriously, like 7 songs. I mean, out of an hour and a half movie, there's like 30 minutes. That's an actual musical. And that's a Disney level musical. And on the other hand, you could have stuff like Hamilton, where it's 2.5 hours and the entire fucking thing, note for note, step for step, the entire thing is set to music.
Right.
There are a lot of variations of what is called a musical if you just throw in a few numbers here and there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, The Blues Brothers is considered a musical, and it's my favorite movie.
And it's probably got 20 minutes, I want to say, maybe.
I mean, it's got a lot of music. But like in that movie, they even like, besides the actual musical numbers, they went with like, they basically choreographed the sound and the rhythm of the chase sequences to sound like music. Like the crashes, everything is like music.
I mean, yeah.
They went the extra mile on doing that movie. But
there's probably a Wilhelm scream in there somewhere.
Oh, no, I think they mostly did you just hear people yelling, "They broke my watch."
Nice.
It's just this ongoing bit where like cops are like crashing and then their only injury is, "Oh, they broke my watch." It's so weird and funny. I don't know. I love that movie. But yeah,
Analog
I like
for me is for my favorite is You Got Red on You.
Yeah. Yeah. That's great. Now, I don't know how I can see them making the jump to musical from what Joker did. You can play with psychology, you could play with their mental wellness. They could just be imagining it. They could be in a nightclub. And maybe she has a couple of numbers.
It was already musical in a way. He
Yeah,
literally
like
is
he's dancing on the stairs.
The stairs in the bathroom after he kills the guys. Like he does a lot of, I mean, for lack of a more precise term, dancing. When he
imagines himself killing on that stage, like just with his comedy set.
Yes, but it's all like when he is becoming more and more jokery. That's when he gets closer to the musical aspect of things. So like. This isn't an unnatural like derivation for me. This actually could entirely
seems like a progression that makes sense. Yeah,
and bringing in somebody like Lady Gaga, like if that ends up being
a fantastic actor too. She's so good.
She is. She's a great actor, and honestly, a pretty great songwriter. When we're coming down to it, like to have ghostwritten as many hits as she did, and then to have come out as her own, she clearly knows what people want to hear. But that's in a different genre than what may be presented here. I don't think that she's going to be incapable. She's a good songwriter. Like, let's give her a shot.
Yeah.
So, I also don't know what theme they're going to go with. Like, we going big band? We going pop? We going, synth 80s? Or what are we going to do here? I'd give her a shot at any of them and just see where she went with it.
I'm actually, you bring up that point and makes me a little more excited about it. Honestly, like I'm just down. I'm down for whatever Todd Phillips is going to do.
Some of his movements, even in the bathroom, kind of reminded me of Waltz. Like, I don't know. There are a lot of possibilities there, and I look. I know the idea of making a Joker musical. If I just say those words, sounds like super eye rolly, but.
No, it actually made me smile in a way that I haven't in a while.
but give it a minute here. Let's see where this develops. It may be entirely untrue.
It might be. This is weird. It's Hollywood Reporter, so.
And Variety. It's a good point. I saw it on Variety as well.
Yeah.
Those are the big trades. Like, those are the two that I would be like, well, no, I think it's actually going to happen. But. Yeah, give that a second to develop. There may be more to it. And honestly, if it was those two, like, yeah, I'm down. Those two and Lady Gaga writing the songs. Okay. I'll see where this goes.
Yep.
It was actually the most
so-
excited I've ever seen my wife about Joker as a character.
Really?
Yeah, she loves Lady Gaga.
I mean, she'll have to watch the first one.
No. Continuity be damned.
Okay. All right.
I'm just going to roughly explain, like, no, the first one's where he turned bad. All right, so let's watch the second.
Uh-huh. A recent profile from the New York Times, in anticipation of Jurnee Smollett's role in Netflix's Spider-Herd, outlined her upcoming projects and revealed that, quote, she's also preparing to reprise her role as Black Canary. So we're actually getting like publication announcements here, and I'm excited. Like, it looks like it's still happening to me. Because we have Misha Green writing the movie, from Lovecraft Country.
Yeah, and best I can tell, no one's been really taken off that project. That is striking. Like, it would seem that it's still in production, and I'm absolutely there for it.
Pray to God
it
it's true. Yeah. Blue Beetle. Did you see the set pictures? Did you see the costume?
I did see the costume, and I don't need CGI. That looks amazing.
No, I know. Like, normally you see the set pictures, you're like, everybody calm down.
No.
It'll be fine. Like, I didn't see one person bitching about this.
No.
Like, it looks fantastic.
It is glorious.
It looks fantastic.
Granted, black and blue are my favorite combination of colors, so I'm swayed here.
Mm-hmm.
And that particular blue is, I'm fond of it.
Mm-hmm.
But dear God. I don't know. You don't have to color grade this shit. Just put him on screen. Let it, CGI the shit's going to come out of his arms and back.
Yeah. And it was funny is that there were these rumors. It's funny when something comes up and you're like, oh man, I'm going to talk about that on the show. And then it's debunked and you're like, oh man, I wanted to talk about that on the show.
I wanted to say how shitty that was.
No, I want to talk about how great that would be.
The other way?
But
I'm sorry.
In this case, yeah, that was the thing. There were all these rumors that looked like maybe Jason Sudeikis was going to be Ted Cord. And then he debunked that. And I'm like, I was so excited about that idea.
I could have dealt with that.
Anyway.
Could have dealt with that. I mean, we could still go back to, like, I mean, if the Ted Cord cameo was still Vince Vaughn.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I
can live with things.
I just watched Delivery Man, and the best part of that movie was just Vince Vaughn.
He's the best part of a few movies he's in. Not that he's not in good movies, but even those, he's still sometimes the best part.
Yeah. All right, let's get into the WBT, or I guess it should be WBDT at this point, as now it's WB Discovery. So Toby Emmerich has stepped down as WB Pictures Group Chairman. We had hoped for this. It happened a couple weeks ago at this point. And the thing is like the report said, like, oh, he's stepping down, but he's not fired. He's got like a lucrative production deal. No, he was fired, y'all.
He's gone.
That means he was fired, and they were like, hey, we don't want to have to officially end your contract because your contract isn't up until 23. So can we offer you, if you step down, quote unquote, it'll look better for you. And also, we'll just say you have a production deal going on. This was like your choice. And he's like, oh, absolutely. I don't want to say I was fired because I did my job bad, which I did. And that's what happened.
What if we let you overproduce one movie? As like a, like a 2-week notice, but for people of your stature. Right.
We're not going to actually let you do anything. Your stuff will be in the works, quote unquote, and then you'll go somewhere else at some point. Michael DeLuca and Pamela Abdi are being named as co-chairs to replace Emmerich as the heads of both WB and its subsidiary New Line Cinema. DeLuca and Abney previously headed MGM Studios until it was sold to Amazon in 2021. According to THR, DeLuca and Abney are simply waiting for Amazon to release them from current contracts before making the jump, which could be as soon as next month. Emmerich is reportedly going to hammer out a production deal. Which that's whether that happens or not, they fired him, so that's what happened. Don't believe the trades on that one. It's funny,
honestly. Like I don't know who those people are. I'll give him a shot.
DeLuca is kind of well known for being a big spender. And it's funny, our friend Pud333 over on Twitter was saying that, Zaslav supposedly doesn't want to spend a lot of money, but he throws someone in charge like Michael DeLuca who spends a lot of money. And I'm like, yeah, but here's the thing though. I've seen this sentiment over and over again, but here's the thing. I promise you this is the case. Michael DeLuca is now reporting directly to David Zaslav. So if Michael DeLuca says, I want to spend this money, and Zaslav looks at it and goes, you're out of your damn mind, Michael DeLuca will not spend that money.
Well,
the
best leaders keep some people around them who have an opposite opinion. So that would be a good example of that to me.
Yeah.
Like Zaslav is definitely not the guy who's going to like passion project something. But
right.
Having a couple people around you who might say like, no, seriously, for real, put 400 in this thing. You're going to make 1.2 billion. Don't worry about it. I got you. That's a good thing to have in your ear from time to time, especially if it's somebody who actually has a track record and can get it right. And dear God, they better.
I tend to think of David Zaslav as sort of this cartoonish Jimmy James type character. And that might be completely inaccurate. But in my head, Stephen Root is voicing him, where he's like, yeah, come on, explain it to me. I don't want to spend that money, but hey, let me know why you think I should spend that money. Come on, you son of a bitch, tell me. It's like, the onus is on DeLuca.
So
I might be wrong. He might be a completely different kind of asshole.
Could be. A lot of the media reports, at least, like the little glimpses we've been supposedly given, are a lot of like people rolling up their sleeves and saying, what are we going to really do here? And let's get rid of the, flotsam and jetsam need to go away. Let's deal with the real meat of the problem and all that.
Right.
I don't know. That could be bullshit too. But
yeah,
honestly, the results I've seen track, and it makes me wonder, like, do you keep some dreamers around just to say like, no, this one could actually turn into something?
Mm-hmm.
Or do you do kind of what you just mentioned, where I don't know how many people I see on a daily basis that answer like calls from Scam Likely. It shows up on your phone that way,
right?
Now, if certain services. Well, I just wanted to talk about this. Well, I mean, I just want to know what are you offering? Like, come on, man, stop wasting your time. Just block the number. Move on with your day. It's you don't have to do that. You don't have to. No one's being taught a lesson. Like you're not doing anything. You're just wasting your time.
Wasting your time.
If you enjoy yourself, that's one thing. Great, good for you. If that's how you want to spend your time.
Yeah.
I think if you just popped off to the bathroom and spit one out, that's probably a better use of your time. If we're being honest.
You don't understand. I listened to an episode of Reply All once.
And if you have a few $100,000 to spend on that, cool. But that's what that cost.
All right. So apparently Zaslav is restructuring the company into 3 distinct verticals. Warner Brothers / New Line, run by DeLuca and Pamela Abdy. DC Universe, now according to this report, run by Walter Hamada, who will be reporting to DeLuca and Abney. And then Animation, which is led by to be announced. But
the animation could be that could be led by a Labrador.
Yeah,
just let it keep.
Bruce
doing
Timm's got it. Just let it. Yeah, just
like let Tim do what he does. Occasionally, look at the storyboards and say there are too many boobies. Stop it.
Yeah.
And then if that happens,
or go further,
in Paul Dini,
or go further. You can just go further too. Like it doesn't have to be stop it. They could just be like, you know what, this R-rated animation, I think it's going places.
I mean, there's manga DC. I want to,
but let's do a full like hentai line. Let's get some shiny vulva up on the screen.
We can do that. And we'll blur it, just traditionally.
Not in America. NC-17.
Full drawn vulva. It's basically just a tulip. Like the animation side, probably just let that do what it's doing.
Yeah.
If I were in charge on this one, just just let it be, man. Just they're doing good.
Let
I kind of like the splitting up.
Let it be. Yeah, so, but Deadline says, or Deadline seems to be reporting that Hamada's gone. Deadline said that...
I think he will
let's
be.
see, yeah, Deadline says, on the day of Emmerich's departure, Zaslav made it known that he was separating the movie side of the studio into 3 buckets of Warner Brothers' New Line, DC, and Warner Animation, which is exactly what I just said, except this version says DeLuca and Abney will oversee DC in the interim upon their arrival. A search is underway for a new head of DC. That definitely sounds like Hamada's gone.
Yeah. Look, I would welcome it.
I would too.
Even in the moments where I thought he got some stuff right, he's gotten some other stuff wrong that's been very publicly wrong. And I don't know. I just credit where it's due for what he did, but I just think he may not be the right person for that job.
But yeah, like the reports say that Zaslav approached Joker director Todd Phillips about serving in some kind of expanded advisory role, which Phillips doesn't want a formal executive position anyway. And Puck is reporting that Zaslav is kind of courting Kevin Feige, who actually talked pretty seriously with Warner Brothers a few years ago when he was trying to get out of Marvel from under Ike Perlmutter back then when that guy was still in charge.
That's been a second, but yeah.
Yeah. So look, man, we don't know. We don't know what's happening. We really don't. I'd love to know what's happening, but I don't think they know. And of course, we're getting reports that they have no interest in actually replacing anyone at this point, and DeLuca and Abney are going to be doing it. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Real quick, and this another piece of the puzzle. I don't know if it fits anywhere. I don't know how true it is, but cryptic and maybe telling. Zack Snyder posted on Superman Day. He posted on Vero a picture with Henry Cavill and then said with the caption, "My Superman, past, present, and future." That I don't know about future, man. I mean, what is he saying?
That bastard's fucking with us again.
Maybe.
I don't know.
We don't know.
I'm long past the point of doubting him. I'm just hoping he's right.
Yeah, fingers crossed, man. Fingers crossed. I need that Thanksgiving crisis picture to be true.
Yep.
We're going to break. We're going to come back and we're going to be talking about Sandman. See you then.
That was a long segue to Sandman.
I know. I didn't tell you to announce a segue to Sandman.
Hey, just happened how it happened, you know?
And we are back. So, Sandman premieres August 5th on Netflix. Are you going to be watching, Jason?
Of course.
Oh, yeah, me too. Good.
Well, moving on to the next topic then.
They put out this trailer.
Oh, trailer. Gotcha.
Yeah, remember the trailer? You said we had a segue for it. I didn't have a segue. But
moving on to the next topic then. If we don't have a segue, what's the point?
Like
we're barely a news.
I don't know what the point of anything is.
Dear God, we failed.
Or we succeeded.
Yeah, like teleportation.
Anyway, I think this thing looks really cool.
Oh, of course it does.
I think it looks fantastic. It's very cinematic looking. I'm digging. What's her name? Jenna Louise Coleman as Jonna Constantine, and I'm digging the main guy. He's got the look down for Sandman. Everything looks dope, dude. Like everything. I don't know what to say about it other than it looks creepy. It looks cool, and I'm really excited about it.
Yeah, I didn't have a lot to add other than that. Honestly, just thought the major premise of what I know about the Sandman books and what I've seen in this trailer are going to be similar, and something I was digging. The whole he was trapped, he's out now, and he needs to kind of explain to everyone that he's the fuck out now. And dear God, you had your time.
Yeah. I liked how God, I can't think of the name. I'm so bad. Like I'm awful. Like his realm has kind of gone to pot since he's been away. And yeah, it all looks cool, and I can't wait to see it. I really I have all the books, and it's been forever since I read any of it. Like I read maybe the first 2 or 3 volumes many years ago, where I was dating this girl and her friend who turned out to be the guy that she was actually dating.
Yeah.
This guy.
It do happen that way sometimes.
It happens that way sometimes. But he had this really cool, like, giant, like, leather-bound volume of Sandman, and I read that, and I don't remember how far that goes into the story, but it's been a damn long time since I got a chance to read it, so I would really love to do it for Patreon and just, like, read each volume and talk about it on Patreon. I don't know if I'm going to get to that.
Oh,
but I hope I do.
God, that's several episodes.
Mm-hmm.
It is a big book. I forget who that is, though. There's somebody tearing through the gods or through the characters in that universe.
Mm-hmm.
I forget the name, too.
Yeah, well, I don't remember that. I barely remember my own name.
That happens sometimes.
Like, I met a guy the other day, this guy at Walmart. He was like, he was looking at a shirt that I was looking at, and I was like, yes, yeah. He was like, oh, that's a pretty good shirt. And I was like, yeah, man. We started talking about different bands from the 90s. And we were all kind of caught up talking about nostalgic rock. And then he said, by the way, my name's, whatever it was. I don't even remember his name. And I was like, Dave.
Took me a moment, but Dave. Hi.
Yeah, so.
Good to meet you.
Yep. I don't have a memory sometimes. Anyway, Peacemaker. James Gunn talked about how he's working on the next DC project and indicated that the other shows, quote unquote, he's involved with will feature characters from Peacemaker.
Mm-hmm.
Says, I'm working very seriously on another DC project where I'm very involved in the writing and the direction of it. There will be some blending of the characters from Peacemaker in the other shows I'm working on. And I'm involved with a couple of other DC things too. So, something to look forward to. I am down for whatever Gunn does.
Like all of that. I think they said that at some point they were going to make Harcourt a recurring character, and please, yes, absolutely.
Yeah, I heard she's going to be in Black Adam, but she wasn't in that trailer, so that means it was a lie.
Well, with only 0.5% of the movie, we have to make assumptions.
That's right.
We have to.
That's what I do.
To go ahead and make choices about our lives.
I'm a Twitter user.
No, I mean, he insinuated at some point that she would be a continuing part of the universe.
Mm-hmm.
And dear God, I'm down. That she was a fantastic fucking character.
Yeah, I agree.
And had that group cohesion effect that can really come in handy when you're trying to build a universe.
You saying she likes the group sex?
Sir.
Yeah.
With an exclamation mark.
Mm-hmm.
Possibly. We didn't get into that. But ostensibly, no.
Oh. You're talking about something smart.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. More of a leadership role thing.
Oh, you're talking about like trust falls and stuff.
Yeah, that thing. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Seminars, TED Talks. I don't know. Maybe strap-ons are a thing later. I don't know. That's
TED Talks. Coordinated masterclasses.
Yeah. You could show up on the app masterclass. I don't
know. So Variety is reporting that Beth Schwartz, who used to run Arrow,
mm-hmm.
is going to be the showrunner on Dead Boy Detectives. This was the showrunner for the final 2 seasons of Arrow.
Yeah. I remember that, and she did a great job with that.
You think?
I think so.
Because this was bad news to me.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought it hit a slump before, and she picked it up, and it closed well.
Maybe it did.
That was my
God, I can't remember. She did. She was a co-showrunner on the first season of Netflix's Sweet Tooth as well. So I heard good things about that.
I did hear good things about Sweet Tooth.
I like your recollection of Arrow because it makes me feel better.
No, I'm pretty firm about that's how that worked, but I, of course, could be
I guess
wrong.
I feel like season 8 was kind of co-opted by Crisis. Though.
Yes, very much so. But she would have had to
So-
build that in, so I'm going to give her points.
Okay. All right. I remember I liked the first half of Arrow season 1.
I think there was
season
just
7.
a year and a half where like Mark Guggenheim wore a phone on the side of his face and just had a charging plug near it at all times. Maybe an induction
well, that's
charger.
fine. It's probably better that way for Mark.
But that would still have to all be coordinated with
He would just
everyone,
plug him in every once in a while.
including
He'd wake up and lie to us.
Yeah.
And go back to sleep. So we'll see. I'm still down for the show, obviously. I'm iffy on anybody that comes over from them CW shows, even though I like a bunch of the CW stuff.
I mean, yes and no. Like Eric Kripke was there, and he's on The Boys, and dear God, that's fucking amazing.
That's true.
I don't know. It was a really
It
good
could
training
go
ground.
one of two
for
ways.
The people who used it that way as like getting their chops and coming out, I guess that's probably pretty phenomenal.
Or as use it, I was thinking like use it as fuel. Like, Jesus God, we finally get to do what we wanted to do all along. We're not like hampered by like assholes telling us we gotta like write 3 pages of exposition anymore. This time we're just gonna do like gore and crazy weird sex shit with superheroes. This is what we were wanting to do in the first place.
Well, I mean, some of them probably, but mostly it's just a job where you have a lot of production assignments and you just like to take on that much more and even go to a different genre or take is a huge change.
Yeah. Like, oh, we've got 8 episodes instead of like 23.
Yeah, but it's like 23 episodes where it's a
Formula.
Yeah, it's a formula. It's a monster
Yeah.
of the week kind of thing. And then you go to, 8, 9, 10 episodes even. And it's basically just one giant movie
Yeah.
with an episode break.
I want to see like the former CW writer like timidly pitching guy runs into another dude's dick hole. Like just to see if it flies, and like then the face reacting to, oh my God, they liked it. They really liked it. So then the guy sneezes.
I've run that by a couple of people as like, listen, check out this show. What do you think about this premise? I've literally pitched the show a couple times based on that scene, and the reaction has been funny because a couple people were like, "No, you lost me at like literally in the first few seconds," and other people I kind of explained the entire premise, and they were like, "Well, okay, so that's a lot, but that's fucking awesome." Yes, your take is correct. Yeah. The giant. The giant urethra filling the screen is if you got into that scene and out of it and you didn't think, oh my God, the gore is too much, the body humor is too much, this show is for you. And by the way, if you don't think season 4 is going to take it to a different level,
oh yeah, dude, I love The Boys, dude. I love it. I think it's great.
Like you need to find your comfort level with what you just saw because it's just going to get worse. Think about season 1. It just got more gory, right? Yeah.
Yep. I thought like it was funny because this week basically I watched Superman and Lois. I watched The Boys. I watched Star Trek: Strange New Worlds and Ms. Marvel. And I'm sitting there with like a dopey grin on my face through all of it.
Yep.
Enjoying it all for different reasons. Top notch though.
Those sounded good. I watched a couple of Orville's too.
Yeah, a lot of people are having some issues with those.
I know. I saw the issues, and there's a lot to talk about there. And incidentally, if anyone wants to talk to me, I'm open to the conversation. It is a open conversation.
At DuckDuckGoss on Twitter, if anyone actually does want to talk to him about it. I have not seen it. I've only heard wars and rumors of wars.
Yeah.
Harley Quinn, man. Harley Quinn season 3. They posted a picture of Harley and Ivy like laying on a beach, and it said the hottest duo Gotham's ever seen, and we're back this summer, bitches. So I guess we're back this summer. I no official date that I've seen, but I am excited because I love that show. That is one of my favorite superhero shows, and it's been too long.
Oh,
if I could just get Harley Quinn and Rick and Morty on at the same time, I would just be in heaven.
Yeah, but then there's other kind of similar vein shows where, like, if there was like if my Saturday afternoon was just watching like Rick and Morty, Harley Quinn, Titans, Doom Patrol, I would just block frankly, we would just live tweet our afternoons.
Right. I mean, I was thinking more or less like let's do a a Saturday afternoon where it's like Rick and Morty, Harley Quinn, solar opposites,
Yeah, I could do with that too.
And Star Trek Lower Decks. Like all a bunch of cartoons about geek shit that I love. Now, let's talk about this. They put out this Gotham Knights trailer for the CW. I will say this, and I warned you this was coming. Absolute garbage. I don't know what they're doing. I don't understand. It's like no one on the show looks to be actually doing a very good job. It looks like it came out of 1999. It looks like it looks like the last ditch effort to save Birds of Prey on the WB, and somehow still worse. I'm so confused by this thing.
You know those several moments on the show, even this episode, where I say I have something to contribute that's positive, and that's really probably not true even in this episode. But here, no, I got nothing.
Yeah,
I watched it one time and thought I could probably never watch that and call it a day. I'll watch at least the pilot.
Yeah, I'll watch it.
As we spent time on this episode, that is just the trailer, and it's just the first trailer. So we'll see where it goes. But no, I didn't watch that and think, man, I've got to mark my calendar.
Yeah, as like Harper Row and like the villain kids are going down into the Batcave, and horrible line like, oh, we have something they don't, a Batcave, and they walk into the Batcave, and the thing opens up, and we see the Batman cowl. It honestly looks like it is a Batman cowl that you can purchase for $5 at Walmart that has a string in the back to put onto your toddler's head.
Yeah, it feels right.
The production values on this show look disgustingly low. And once again, it's another situation. And look, Batwoman, I dug the first season. I thought it was a cool story. I liked Ryan Wilder. I liked her character. Never felt like they did anything really good with the show after the second season started, though. So I mean, I can get behind a show with bat-related characters without being, based on Batman. But I think it's enough of the cock teasing with Batman. Either give us Batman or don't give us Batman. I don't want to see Gotham Knights. I don't want to see Carrie Kelly and a bunch of, like Harper and all these kids, like Duella Dent and all that shit, running around trying to find Batman's murderer. I don't care. I mean,
that part is it.
Especially if it looks this bad.
Like, yes, I would love to see all that if that looked more interesting, but dear God, just the trailer didn't.
Right. It looked like it would be one thing if it actually looked really compelling, and it might, like, all I'm saying is at a point when you give me this premise, I am going, what are we doing here? You really actually have to sell me with the trailer.
Yes and no.
Because by the premise alone, I am already kind of going, what the hell are we doing?
Yeah. On the one hand, I agree. I watched the same trailer. I have zero interest. On the other hand,
yeah,
me and you watched the same pilot for Flash, and that worked out too.
That's true. I'm not saying they don't have room to turn it around for me. I'm just saying, so far, this looks terrible.
Yeah. Right now, I'm on the left side of the meter.
And it's like, it's sort of like how it feels like, when as a kid, I grew up, and I still am, but it's like you grow up and you're like, I'm a huge Star Trek fan, and then for Christmas, your grandmother gives you the third book in a trilogy of Star Wars novels, and you're like, what the hell is a Star War? I'm a Star Trek fan. And in this scenario, CW and WB is your grandmother. And they think, hey, look, this is like Batman, right? And you're like, no. Why is Batman always going to be missing or dead? Why? Can we just don't do Batman? There are so many other characters you could do. And actually do them, where you're like, well, we've got like 5 Batmen in the movies right now, so we don't want to do another one. How about Gotham Knights, where you do like a bunch of kids
that aren't Batman, but reference them so often that it's confusing?
Oh, here's messed up shit. They could have called it Gotham Knights. This is a better premise, by the way. We Are Robin.
Oh, yeah.
I would have watched the shit out of a We Are Robin show.
Well, I don't know. I mean, if it... I'm not... All right, Gotham Knights as a strategy, I'm good with. I just did not like this trailer. I didn't feel like it led me anywhere. I feel like it was just a bunch of scenes about some teenagers that, especially on that network, we've done this before. It was regurgitating. So if it was a new premise, new version, new format, new Bat Knight, new Dark Knight, whatever, that's one thing. I just this was not new Gotham Knights. This was the same at the moment.
Ooh,
but
you know what they should have done?
I'll give them some leeway here. Like
they should have done The Signal.
Oh, I would have loved Duke. God, I would have loved Duke. I like Duke as a character.
Yeah.
He has a specific superpower that the rest don't have, and I love it. And then him just being someone available in the day is fantastic.
Yeah, he's daytime Batman, The Signal. Like, I dig it. You don't even have to be like, Batman's gone away, so,
Nope, we got this dude.
But Duke needs his vitamin D. No, Batman runs the night, he runs the day. So have him run the day, have his shit be about him. Yeah. There's a lot they could do, and I don't know what this damn. I'm down for like creators being able to make their own version, but so far this ain't doing it for me. Hopefully I change. But even the game Gotham Knights clarified. They put it out there. Message from the Belfry: the Gotham Knights game and the upcoming TV show of the same name are separate projects with no connection to one another. We can't wait for you to experience the action of our Gotham Knights soon. So even they were like, y'all, so this ain't us.
Yeah. That was particularly disheartening. As far as
when they go out of their way to be like, that's some other shit.
That game looked fucking amazing. Like, I may buy a console just to play that game. The show, not so much.
And what's funny is, like, when you say something like Gotham Knights and this game is going on and has been going on for like a couple of years, like leading up to it, you're going to think like, and not only that, like back in the day, like old school fans like me and you, we remember when they were about to call that The New Adventures of Batman Gotham Knights. Yep. It was so good. It was going to be the continuation of Batman the Animated Series. That was what it was going to be called. So we have that like immediate connection where we go like, oh, it's going to be Nightwing, Batgirl, Robin, and Red Hood or somebody, and then for it to be whatever the hell they're doing, where it's like Riverdale and Gotham.
Yeah.
And it feels like that based on the trailer. Like it actually looks worse than Riverdale, which is surprising.
That gets a little contrite. It's not the same. Like, I don't know. There are better opportunities here.
I'd think so, but whatever. We'll see. I guess it stings a little more knowing that they'll rent the space for this show, but they canceled Batwoman and Legends. That very much does feel like a zero sum. That feels like a
that one, and yeah, I'm fond of that phrase, but that one does feel like we traded one shit thing for another that was not a shit thing.
Yeah, and it probably was a trade. It was probably a trade for like not spending money on inflated cast salaries or something. Like,
100%.
For real.
100%.
For real. But according to TV Line, The Arrowverse spinoff Justice You with David Ramsey is reportedly still in development at CW.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe we'll see that. I don't know. And here's a weird thing. We don't even know if this is like in a tie. Like we don't know that this is tied into DC at all. But Warner Brothers and Leslie Jones are going to do a new adult animated series called Plastic Woman. And it's not connected to the Plastic Woman movie that DC was talking about doing.
You know, I don't care. That sounds fun.
It does sound
Let's
fun.
do that. Even when we talk about it not being like a zero something, oh, there's so much money.
Mhm.
There's
Yeah,
so much
so
fucking
much.
money. Yeah, throw it at it.
Speaking of which, HBO Max Latin America has ordered Batman Azteca, Choca de Imperios. It's a new animated feature. Hopefully I pronounce all of this okay. But
How did you say that?
Choca de Imperios.
Okay. All right.
So new animated feature film that was announced during the 37th Guadalajara International Film Festival. It marks the first ever collaboration between Warner Brothers Animation, Particular Crowd, Mexico's Anima, and Chatron, the producer of Book of Life. The Spanish language animated film will drop the Dark Knight into Mesoamerica culture and Aztec Mexico, and is an original story for the streamer. And production will take place in Mexico and utilize local talent to fill out the cast. Wow. It stars Yohali Kawata, a young Aztec boy who loses his father when he's murdered by Spanish conquistadors. Kawato's father was the leader of their local village. The boy seeks refuge with King Moctezuma and the high priest Yoka, who lords over the village. The synopsis states, using the temple of Zinacan, the bat god, as a lair, Uali trains with their mentor and assistant, Akatzin, developing equipment and weaponry to confront the Spaniard invasion, protect Moctezuma's temple, and avenge his father's death. Whew. That was a lot for me to say.
Dear God.
But it seems like a cool take on Batman.
Yeah, I like it.
I'm down for seeing it.
I can get behind that.
All right. We got one more piece of news.
Uh-huh.
Are you ready for this? Debuting on July 13th, Smallville stars Tom Welling and Michael Rosenbaum are launching their Smallville rewatch podcast called Talkville. I'm going to boil it down for you. The crew was great, but it was 16-hour days. We didn't really hang out with Allison, but we had no idea she would brand people. Cold therapy. CBD for my chronic back pain. My crazy cocaine days with Dak Shepard. And we need to have Kristen on. Kristen's great. Why haven't we had Kristen on yet? It's going to be the whole podcast.
That is going to be it.
I wish I had interest in watching or listening. I don't. I have no interest in rewatching. I have no interest in listening. This isn't going to be a fake doc. I like both of these guys, all right? Don't get me wrong. But I've heard enough of Inside of You where I gave up. And I was just like, Michael Rosenbaum is going to tell the same 3 stories over and over again. And I love the guy, but I don't got it. Like the second Tom Welling episode,
Well, it's
like
not that.
the first one, they just repeated things from the first one.
It wasn't that for me. It was the, I don't know, the general effect of like the personal stories. And sometimes I have to just move on to like, no, I just want to hear about like science or even science fiction or something. So this is going to be a real thing they're going to do.
Yeah.
And they're going to talk about Vancouver.
They're going to talk about Smallville, whatever the hell that means. Like, and I'm curious to see how long it lasts too, because like Rosenbaum wasn't even on the show after like season 7. Like, is he going to be watching it for the first time and going like, "Who the shit is Tess Mercer?" You know, like,
yeah.
Like, oh, what's that? What's she doing there? Who's that? Oh man.
Oh, I would bet secretly he's at least seen some Wikipedias about who he was up against, but
probably.
Look, in passing, I'm not saying he's obsessed. This got weird when I was saying it out loud. I'm just saying he's probably looked up Wikipedia about how he's running across some people.
Yeah, he wants to know how he stacks up exactly. Like, what did they do after Lex? I want to know. Yeah, that would be fair. And like I said, I like Tom Welling. I like Michael Rosenbaum. I don't necessarily agree with Tom on how, he wouldn't come back as Clark unless he was depowered. Like, what is your problem with being Superman, sir? That's what I want to know. But,
well, mostly they threw him in the harness back in the day. I would think that would be a problem if you were going to come back.
Yeah.
Well, like he came back to superhero lifestyle for Lucifer, and he was happy to do it. And dear God, he looked like the biggest person on screen.
Yeah, he was. What was he? Cain.
Yeah. Cain.
Is that right?
The Cain,
as in Abel's Cain,
first murderer in history.
Yeah. Fantastic job on that show.
Yeah,
and he's one of my favorite Superman, Clark Kent, whatever you call him. If you want, I kind of use Superman and Clark Kent interchangeably. I feel like it's the same character. I feel like without Clark Kent, you don't have a Superman. Therefore, Superman is Clark Kent. And because when you say, "Oh, he's one of my favorite Superman," you get these guys who are like, "Well, technically, he was never Superman." Shut up.
Yeah, not an argument I wanted to have.
He was John Kent's boy. And that was enough.
Yeah. If he wasn't raised on the farm, we have the whole Superman crisis to deal with. Pick one of those.
We have Homelander, basically. Going back to that.
Test tube version.
Anyway. That's it. That's all we got for the show.
All right.
Do you feel relieved?
For all the stuff in the last few minutes? Nah, it's gonna be interesting.
Yeah. So anyway, we'll see you soon. Until next time, keep some DC on your screen. In a western town and a dead-end world. East End boys and West End girls. Our intro music is by Jason Goss and Michael Shackelford. Michael's band, Galactic Engineers of Magnetic Sounds, or GEMS, can be found on SoundCloud and Bandcamp. Visit DCOnScreen.com to find our Patreon, merch, contact information, and every episode of the show for free, including crossovers we've done with other podcasts. DC On Screen is a maladjusted production. For more from me and Jason, including sketch comedy, vlogs, parodies, and our improvised web series Hey Guy, visit maladjusted.tv.